Hey, welcome everybody, Tony Porter, and here we are with the 1959 Marlboro scoreboard. Come to where the flavor is, come to Marlboro Country, and also one of our sponsors is Pabst Blue Ribbon Beer, and recapture the flavor of the great time, brewed slow and natural for that old time flavor. And let's go over this. See what is up here. All right, New York at Baltimore, and the Baltimore wins it 8-4. Win goes to Odell. He's 4-4. Whitey Ford takes the loss. He's 4-3. Home runs: Bauer his 8th. Triando's 2 for 4 on the season. It was a doubleheader at Memorial Stadium in Baltimore. In the second game, the Yanks win it in the 10th inning, 4-0. So I guess they scored all 4 runs in the top of the 10th inning. Ditmar wins it 3-2, and Zuverink loses it 0-1 at Fenway Park. Washington and Boston. It's Boston 3-2 over Washington. The winning pitcher is Casale, 3-0, and Stobbs the loss 1-4. Save for Fornils, 4th save. Home run Malzone, his 6th. Detroit at Cleveland Stadium, and it's Cleveland 3-2 over Detroit. Perry 4-2 gets the win, and Mossy takes the loss 2-2. Home runs: Bowling his 5th and Strickland his 3rd. At Cleveland Stadium, the second game, another doubleheader. There's actually 3 doubleheaders going on today. I'm playing a doubleheader as well. First game of a doubleheader, and I'll be playing that next. Detroit 9-0 over Cleveland at Cleveland in the second game. So Cleveland won the first game, and Detroit won the second game. It's Larry with the win for Detroit, 4-3, and Garcia took the loss, 0-3. Home runs: Maxwell for Detroit his 6th, Kaline his 7th, and Berberet his 7th. Chicago at Kansas City at KC Municipal Stadium. It's Chicago 8-3 over Kansas City. Pierce with the victory, 4-3. Herbert the loss, 3-3. Home runs: Lopez his 8th and Williams his 8th. Wrigley Field in Chicago. St. Louis at Chicago. St. Louis blows out the Cubs 16-2. Holy smokes. Meisel with the victory, 6-2, and Drabowski with the loss, 3-3. Home runs: Boyer his 11th and Tate his 1st. At LA Memorial Coliseum, it's San Francisco and Los Angeles, and the Dodgers win it in 10, 2-1. Labine with the victory, 1-3. Worthington the loss, 1-2. Home run: Sauer his 1st. And that's about it. Next we have Milwaukee playing in Philadelphia. We're in the top of the 1st. And let's do this. That was the Marlboro scoreboard. Come to where the flavor is. Come to Marlboro Country, and also brought to you by Pabst Blue Ribbon Beer. Capture the flavor of the great times. Brewed slow and natural for that good old time flavor. All right. Let's see what we got here. We're going to remove this one real quick. Okay. So we're right about to get started here. Let me just set this up. All right. Make sure it's all good. There you go. You have your scoreboard. You have the table. And we're ready to roll. Let me go over the lineups real quick. It's going to be Bruton in center field, Matthews at third base, Aaron the right fielder, Covington in left field, Torrey at first base, Crandall the catcher, Logan the shortstop, Mantilla the second baseman, and Jay the pitcher. He's a C, by the way. Conley, Gene Conley for the Phillies, it will be a B, so they'll have the advantage on paper. We'll see what happens. Ashburn in center field for the Phillies, Fernandez the shortstop, Boucher the first baseman, Post in right field, Anderson in left field, Jones the third baseman, Sparky Anderson at second base, Hegan the catcher, and Conley the pitcher. Let's do this. Let's roll some dice. Oh. And that's going to be a 61, and that will be a strikeout. So Bill Bruton goes and swings and misses at a high fastball. He goes back to the bench. Here's Eddie Matthews with a 32, and a 32 will be a blank, and that'll be an 11 is a little number in front of the plate. And Hegan jumps on it, fires the first, and gets Matthews. So let's do both of those. Let's put that data in the system so you start seeing the scoreboard. K and 2-3. Here's Hank Aaron, Mr. Aaron to you, with a 14, and that'll be a 1-12 walk, and it's a 2, so it's a base on balls. And he's going to try to steal a base. And there goes Aaron, the throw down from the catcher, and he is safe. There may be an error, may get away from the shortstop. See if it does or not. Oh, I think it does. It looks like it does. Hegan, we roll real low, and he's a 1 error, so he will not make an error. So the shortstop blocks it, prevents Aaron from going to third. So it's a walk and a stolen base for Hank Aaron. Mr. Aaron to you. And let's get this on here. There you go. All right, so now it's Covington. So it's a walk and a stolen base. Took a nap, so I'm awake. I fell asleep during a game the other day. And I let my pitcher give up 9 runs and never changed them. Had to replay the game the following day. 35, that's a blank and an out. He's a lefty, so it's bounced to first base, and that'll retire the side. Picking it up is Boucher, steps on the bag, and retired is Covington. So no runs, no hits, so walk, 1 left, and we move to the bottom of the first. All right, some baseball action here. It's real cold outside. It's in the 30s, early 30s, and rainy and humid, and 63. That'll be an out. Bounce to short, picked up by Logan. Johnny Logan throws him out, throws a strike to first to Torrey. And next is Chico Fernandez, 25, and that'll be a fly ball right field. Over is Aaron, and he makes the catch. Here's Boucher, left-handed hitter with a 61, and that'll be a swing and a miss. Struck him out on the curveball. No runs, no hits. 3 up, 3 down. Go to top of the second. It's going to be Frank Torrey. Torrey had a really good game the other day, 3 hits, but he's struggled throughout the season. He's batting 155. He needs to get him up to 200. See if he can get a hit here. I doubt it. 45, yeah, that's not going to do it. That's bounced to second base. 1 away. Easy play for Anderson, who flips it to Boucher. Here comes Dell Crandall. Crandall also batting 220, 218 with a 32, and that'll be a pop-up behind the plate. Now back the catcher in fair territory now, makes the catch. And Johnny Logan. Johnny Logan's been hitting the ball well lately. 65, that's going to be a pitcher home run. It's a 1-5. And we didn't roll the D20, and that ball is lined to center field and caught. No runs, no hits, 3 up, 3 down. Logan rips one to center field, but Ashburn is in its path. All right, here's Wally Post, and Wally Post with a 42, and a 42 will be ball 4. So he goes on to first base with a base on balls, and he's on first base. And here's Harry Anderson with a 44, and that's going to be a single. So he rips one to right center field, and runner will, if he's F, I believe Post is an F, and he will go to, no, he's an A, so he'll hold him up at second base. So first and second. And we're going to bunt with Willie Jones, and that'll be a good bunt. It'll be to the first baseman, so a sacrifice. Runners move up. S and S. So now we got second and third with only 1 out. And too early to, we're going to, you know what, it's too risky to play the infield in. We're just going to play it back and just let the run score. 64, hopefully that's a strikeout. It won't be. It's a 13, so a run will score on this. It's going to be a ground ball to the shortstop. And we'll just double check. A 13 with runners on second and third. Yep, they will advance on this. So it's an RBI for Anderson. Going to third is Post comes in. Harry Anderson goes to third, and Sparky Anderson hits that grounder and drives in a run. Let me make sure it's Harry Anderson because I'm learning all these guys. Yep, Harry Anderson. All right. Hegan now is up. Hegan batted 190, so he's not much of a threat. A 43, ball 4. Like I said, Joey J is on his C column, and that's always a troubling column. So let's see. Conley should be down here. And John J should be up there. There we go. All right, here's a pitch, and that's going to be a 14. Struck him out, and that retires aside, as expected. 1 run on 1 hit and a couple of walks, and we go to the top of the third. So Hegan walks, and then there's a strikeout to end the inning. All right. Go to top of the third now. Let's roll some dice. Mantilla. Don't ask me why he is playing, but that's using the actual lineups. A 63 is a pop-up to first base. 1 down. And next is Joey J, the pitcher. Pitch from Gene Conley at 21 and strikes him out. Blows a fastball by the pitcher, who's not much of a hitter. A lot of strikeouts on his card. All right, here is Bill Bruton with a 63, and that'll be another out. It'll be a drive to center field. After it is Ashburn, and Ashburn makes the running catch. It retires aside. We go to the bottom of the third. Score is 1-0, Philadelphia. First game of the doubleheader. Pitch to Richie Ashburn, 34, and that's bounced up the middle and through into center field. So Ashburn with a single. He's on at first, takes his lead. Throwing over is Fernandez, is Jay. Fernandez is up now. I'm going to try hit and run. There goes a runner. It's a 7. And a 43 is going to be a fly ball to center field, and back to first goes Ashburn. Every so often I throw in a hit and run, and it's going to be a 41. That's going to be a walk. That pushes Ashburn to second base. So Boucher walks. And we're going to send the pitching coach to talk to Jay right now. Is struggling. I mean, he's walked 3 in the last 2 innings. And up is Wally Post. Post has, how's Post doing? Post has 10 home runs and 128 at bats. There's a pitch, and that's a 32. That'll be an out. Oh no, it's not going to be an out. We're going to have to pull Jay. A 16, and that'll be a drive in the gap. That's going to be 1 run will score. And they'll hold up Boucher at second base. It's going to be an RBI double for Post. And I just can't. We got to pull him. Or I'm just going to pull him. I can't take this. He's a C, and he's not going to straighten out, and he's going to give up a lot of runs, and it's not going to be pretty. So we're going to bring in somebody else. Let's bring in somebody like Pizarro. Can't be worse than what we got going here. So I'm going directly to the bullpen and bring in Juan Pizarro, lefty. And he will be an A pitcher. Good, we needed that. All right. Exactly what the doctor ordered. All right. So it's Pizarro now with second and third, and we're going to walk Anderson. Hopefully we get the intentional walk. Hopefully, oh, hold on there. So hopefully we get the double play. That's what we're trying for. And we're going to play everybody halfway for the double play. Hopefully we get it. Here's a pitch to Willie Jones. That's a 25, and that will be an out. A 2 is a fly ball to center field. Ooh, let's see. With the bases loaded, a 2 is going to be what we roll. We rolled a 5, and it's going to be a shallow fly ball center field. And under it is Bruton, and makes the catch. Nobody advances on that. So that worked out so far. Now there's 2 outs. We got to get one more out here to get out of this inning with minimal damage. Only one run has come in, and that was Ashburn. Here's Sparky Anderson. He's a 218 hitter. Here's a pitch, and that's a 43. That'll be a base on balls. Okay, and that'll force in a run. So that's an RBI for Anderson. Bases are continuing to be loaded. That's the danger. But I rolled a lot of early 40s in this inning, so you can't blame the pitcher. It's just a dice roll. Let's change some dice here, man. Let's get that blue and a yellow die. See what happens. Change our luck a little bit. Hegan, got to get out of this inning. And it's a 21, and that'll do it. He swings and misses at a curveball, and that retires a side. But 2 runs come in this inning. 2 runs come in, but really I'd say that the damage has been minimized. Only 2 runs. It could have been a lot worse. They did have 2 hits in that inning with 3 walks. So 2 runs on 2 hits. We go top of the 4th, Eddie Matthews. The Braves find themselves down 3-0. Let's see if the Braves can get their offense going. A 13 Matthews, and that's going to be a 1-5 base on balls, and we roll a 2, and that's a ball 4. So Matthews walks on that 13, and he's going to try to steal. There he goes, and he is out. Oh no, that's a potential pickoff. The arm is an S arm on a pickoff. 19 is a potential pickoff. He is a righty, so righty S arm 1-8, and they pick him off, and he is out at first base. They picked him off. So it was a walk, and then a pickoff, and that's 1 out. Yikes! All right, here's Hank Aaron with a 15, and that'll be. We can look over here. Just pull a card. It's a line out to center field, so it's ripped to center, and right there is Ashburn, 2 out. Next up is Wes Covington with a 12, and that'll be a high fly to center. Drifting under it is Ashburn, makes the catch, and that retires the side. 3 up. Oh well, that retires the side, and no runs, no hits, and we move to the bottom of the 4th inning. All right, it's the pitcher Conley struck out in the 1st inning. Here's Bizarro with a 45, and that'll be an out. Be a fly out center field, 1 away. Top of the order now. Ashburn 1 for 2. He singled and grounded out with a 45, and that'll be another out. That'll be a bouncer to first. Picked up by Torrey, and he steps on the bag ahead of Ashburn. Next is Chico Fernandez with a 44, and that's line base hit. And Fernandez, there he goes, in the throw down, not in time. So a single and a stolen base for Fernandez here in the bottom of the 4th. And Ed Boucher is up 56, and that'll be struck him out. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left, and we move to the top of the 5th inning. Now, if you play Strat or APBA, visualize a Strat or APBA game with everything, in other words, arm ratings and assist ratings, because an arm rating and assist rating is 2 totally different things. This game has them both, and it weaves them into the normal play of the game. It has, pickoffs, which are realistic. It has hit by pitches, which are, again, realistic. Pass balls, realistic. Errors on stolen bases. Errors on throws to first base from the pitcher. Pickoff attempts. It has everything. Caught stealings that are realistic. Everything that, and then you can keep track. Has the assists are on the money. You play a season, and you'll see that, oh wow, he had 17 assists. Oh, in the game he has 18, or he has 16, or he has 15, or he has 19. But right around that mark, that you don't really get that with the other systems. And that's really genius that it's embedded into this game in that way. Here's Torrey leading off, top of the 5th inning. And it's a 53 with a 1, struck him out. So Torrey swings and misses at a high fastball, and he goes down on strikes. Here's Crandall. Crandall with a 56, and that'll be a K, back-to-back. K's for Gene Conley, 1.1 whip, 12-7 record in 1959. Here's Johnny Logan with a 56, and he strikes out. So Conley strikes out the side. Yikes. I told you that the Braves have been in a nasty slump as of late. They haven't been able to score runs. Everybody's been making out. And it's just the nature of the beast. You know, nature of the dice, right? Here, let's go back to the original dice because it's not working for us. All right, here's Wally Post leading off, and that's going to be a 54. That's going to be a 54 chart, which says check the center fielder for an error and a 9. So it's a ball hit to Bruton, and Bruton is going to make the catch. She's a 3 error, and this is above that, so that's a F8. Wally Post drives one to center field. On the run is Bruton, and Bruton runs it down. Read it well off the bat, turned on the Jets, and caught up to it in the gap. And here's Anderson. And Anderson is going to line one to Covington and the opposite field. Slaps one the opposite way, and it drops in front of Covington for a base hit. Thought Covington was going to get there, but no. Next is Willie Jones. Here's the pitch, a 64, and that'll be an out. That's lined. Will it be a double play? No. So it's L4. And next is Sparky Anderson with a snake eyes, and that'll be pop-up. Foul pop-up, innings 1 to 4 to left field. 5 or more to right field. So it's a pop-up to right field. And what is that, 3 stars? Oh, can let the ball drop if there's a runner on third base and less than 2 out. Or you can catch and try to throw out the running, tagging at third. Wow, that's interesting. I didn't know that. This guy has a lot of imagination, this guy who wrote this game. Greg Sovan. 0 and 1. I look at the cards and I learn something new every day, and I've been playing this for a while. And so it's fascinating. Here's Mantilla. So Jones, wait, what? Jones should have lined out. Anderson should be at first. Okay, let's go back. Anderson single, and then there was a line out by Jones, and then there was a fly out to right. All right. Here's Mantilla. Here's a pitch from Conley with a 62, and 1 to 16 strikeout, and he strikes out another, 4 in a row. So Mantilla goes down on strikes, and next is Jay with a 53. That's a range play and an 8 on the right fielder. Right fielder is Post. We're going to look at Post's number, and it is an 8, so he runs that down, gets to it before it drops. So it's an F9. Top of the order. So let's see if we can get a 2-out rally going. Let's put your rally caps on. Here, Bill Bruton with a 56 and strike 3. No runs, no hits, so Conley struck out 5 of the last 6 guys. Bottom of the 6th inning, Hegan leading it off against Pizarro, who's doing a great job. That's a 12 on a 51, and that's not going to be an error. It's an error check on third base, but he's like a 9 or an 8 or a 7. So that 12 is higher than that, so there's no error. It's a ball that hit to Matthews, and Matthews throws a strike to Torrey at first. 1 down. Comes Conley, he's 0 for 2, a strikeout. And that'll be a 43, ball 4. So he walks the pitcher. And that's something we like to see. Pizarro may be tiring. How you can go, but he can still go. He can still hang in there. So we're going to see one more batter. Let's see what happens here. Here's Richie Ashburn with a 26, and against a righty, that'll be a single. Otherwise, we need a double play here. It's going to be a fly out to left. Over is Covington near the line, and he's got it. And here is Chico Fernandez with a 62, and that'll be a strikeout. To end the inning, no runs, no hits, 1 left, a walk. And we move to the top of the 7th. It's 3-0. Now, Conley's going to be an A pitcher because he's gone 6 allowing no runs. Here's Eddie Matthews with a 56, not a 66, and strikes out 6 out of the last 7 for Conley. Here's Hank Aaron with a 15, and that'll be an out. That'll be a fly out to right field. Towards the line is Post, and Post runs it down. So Fernandez struck out, and then we go to a K and a 9. All right, no, a K and a 9. What happened? Struck out, and then a K and a 9. All right, Covington is up. Covington batting 250. He was batting over 300 just a week ago. Another out. Wow. These guys are in a huge slump. 3 up and 3 down. They cannot buy a hit. That's a fly ball. High fly ball to center field. Ashburn under it makes the catch. We're at the bottom of the 7th inning. Yeah, I keep on switching dice. So we're in the bottom of the 7th. It's 3-0 Phillies. Phillies are basically terrible. I mean, their record is horrendous. They're 10-26, and they're beating the 21-13 Braves by a score of 3-0. I don't even want to tell you, but they've only reached base twice on 2 walks in 7 innings. And we're in the bottom of the 7th, so let's see what happens. Yikes. Pizarro's still in there pitching. I'm throwing just 2 dice, and I'm pulling cards for the outs. That's a 43, and that's a base on balls, and that's going to be it for Bizarro. So we're going to pull Bizarro here. He walks Boucher on 4 pitches, and he's done. But he did a good job. I mean, he pitched 2, 3, 3, and 2/3 of an inning. So he did his job. And let's go to the bullpen and see who we're going to grab here. Rush is he's got 22 appearances and only 6 in the replay. I kind of try to we're going to try Trowbridge. We're going to try to bring him in, see how he does. If he allows a couple of base runners, I'll pull him fast because he's a terror. He's not really very good. But every so often, believe it or not, he performs for me. I mean, he gets some outs and does a couple innings, allows some base runners, but never really gets in a terrible situation. But we'll see what happens here. He's going to be an A pitcher. So Trowbridge will be an A. And we need one more of those stickers. Makes my life easier because then I can just focus on one place. I'm going to probably play a inside pitch game after this. It's really cold. I don't know that I'm going to go to work on time tomorrow. I took a nap, so I'm awake. So there we go. So, all right, we're so lucky. We got such a great hobby. So Boucher's on at first, and he is an A speed. We'll just put that down so we don't have to look in case we need that. Wally Post is up, and here's Trowbridge to Wally Post, and that's going to be a 55, which with a 9 is a drive in the gap. That's going to split the outfielders and roll to the wall. And Boucher, they're probably going to hold him up, and they do hold him up. And it's going to be a double for Post right off of first pitch thrown by Trowbridge. So second and third now, and we're going to intentionally walk for the second time Harry Anderson to pitch to Willie Jones with the bases loaded. And now we're in trouble because we're already down 3-0, and this is the bottom of the 7th, and Willie Jones is up. It's tough to allow another run to score, but it's also you're risking a lot by playing that infield in. It's very, very risky. Let's do it. Let's play the infield in here in the bottom of the 7th. You know, if it's I struggle with that because unless it's like the winning run where you're going to lose the game if you don't play the infield in, you know, I'm always apprehensive. I'd rather play the infield halfway, go for the double play, and allow a run to come in and get a couple of outs and prevent like a big inning, which will kill you. Because if we're down 3-0. If we go down 4-0, it's still not the end of the world. But if we bring the infield in and the inning just continues and we don't get an out after intentional walking Anderson, then we're doomed. So again, I'm going to go with maybe what is the less risky play, which is just the infield halfway, and that's how that's the sense of that. That's how I manage it. I just don't see it any other way. Here's a pitch, and that's a 54, so not a good roll for the Braves because it's going to take us to a Wilder chart now. Men on base Wilder chart. So let's pull another card. Let's see what it says. So Wilder, men on base. Oh wait. Wilder's chart. Men on base, Wilder chart. Okay, so we're gonna go to Wilder chart. It's gonna be lead runner could be picked off by the catcher, and the catcher, I believe, Crandall is a strong arm. So he's gonna whip it. He's gonna whip it to third, and we need a 1-5, and he picks him off at third base, and and he's safe, gets back in safely. Damn, that was a huge opportunity there. All right, let's go. Let's do it again. Willie Jones with the infield halfway, looking for that double play, willing to give up, concede a run, and it's going to be a 23 and an out with a 6, and that's going to be pretty sure that's going to be a double play for us. I hope so. Bases loaded in a 6. It says 6-4-3 double play. Yes, sirree. Unless the shortstop has a weak arm, which he does not. So it is a 6-4-3 double play. A run scores, no RBI. So Willie Jones grounds into a 6-8. It goes Logan to Mantilla to Torrey. And that's 2 outs, but a run comes in. It's 4-0, but here comes Sparky Anderson now. And here's a roll for Sparky Anderson, and the 32 will be an. Oh no! That's a ball that's looped, and he's a righty. Will Covington get there? No, it drops in. Another run scores, and going to second base with an RBI is Anderson. Yikes. We didn't want that to happen. That was bad luck, man. That 32 is usually an out, but not in this case because he's an A. So it will be a RBI double here. And a little looper that drops in. I thought it was Covington, between Covington and Bruton, and Covington was close to the ball. I thought he was going to get to it, but no. And Jim Hegan now with a runner on second. He's a 150 hitter, so we'll just a 33, and that's going to be an out. Thank God for it. He's a 190 hitter, and that'll be a ground out to second base to retire the side. But they pick up 2 runs, and it's 5-0 here in the first game of a doubleheader. I like to play both games, and that'll be a 4-3. All right, so we go to top of the 8th. As you can see, he's retired the last 9, 10, 11 in a row, and he's retired, what do we have, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. He's retired 20 out of 22 batters he's faced. He's only allowed 2 walks so far. It's going to be Frank Thomas against Gene Conley. Here's a pitch, and that is a 46, and that's going to be ballpark. And that is a 10. A ballpark 10 is going to be popped up in foul territory, and that's the third baseman over there. Jones makes the catch near the stands, so it's an FO5. All right, next up is Dell Crandall. He's 0 for 2 today, and a 52 is going to be an error check. And that'll be a 9. A 52 is a shortstop error check, and our shortstop is Fernandez. Fernandez will get to that ball and throw out Crandall. 2 outs. Gobbles it up, fires to Boucher at first. 2 out, and here's Johnny Logan, who's flied out and struck out. Here's a pitch, and that's going to be a 42, which will be a pop-up. Fair territory near the mound, and it's the catcher. Hegan calls everybody off, and that retires the side. Wow. Nuts. No runs, no hits. None left. And we move to the bottom of the 8th inning. Gene Conley leading off against Trowbridge. Here's a pitch, and that's a 15. That'll be a strikeout. Here's Richie Ashburn with a 41. That's a walk. So he's on at first. Chico Fernandez with a 53. We want a low number here, and we got it pretty close, pretty low. So that's a range check on a center fielder, and Bruton I think is a 9 or a 10, and he will catch that. He is a 9, so he'll run that down. F8. So we have a K to Conley, a walk, and then an F8. 2 outs in the bottom of the 8th. 5-0 Phillies. And Chico Boucher is up. Yeah, Boucher, lefty hitter with a 15, and that'll be bounced to second base. Gobbled up by Mantilla. Sidearms it to Torrey, and that retires the side. We go to the top of the 9th. Who are we going to see in top of the 9th? That's the question. It's going to be Mantilla, a pinch hitter for the pitcher, and Bruton. So let's go. Let's let Mantilla bat, and he's going to get a 53. A high number will be, and that's going to get through the infield. So a little ground ball that's hit through the hole, and that will make it unless there's a miracle. And nope, he doesn't have good range at all. And that's the first base hit of the game. Leadoff hitter in the top of the 9th, Felix Mantilla. Yikes. It's a range hit. We rolled an 18. Had we rolled in, well, actually, he's a terrible shortstop. Who would have been to? Let's see. I didn't check who. Oh, it was to the shortstop. So it would have had to have been a 4 or less. He's a terrible shortstop. I'm wondering if I had another shortstop that I could replace this guy with. I think it's Copy or Cop. I think it's Cop, how you pronounce that name. And, oh, he's much better. He's much better, but he still wouldn't have gotten to it, not with that 18. So we'll bring in the new shortstop for defensive purposes. And here's the pitcher, and we're going to get a pinch hitter. Probably be Adcock. Wow, that's really too bad, man. 8 innings of no-hit ball, and he gives up a range single. So let's see who we got coming here. Well, you know what? We can do Mickey Vernon. He'll come in and hit. Mickey Vernon will pinch hit here in the top of the 9th inning. Now we can hope for a comeback. Pitch from Conley with a 32, and that's going to be a 1-4 is a double. We need a low number now, 13, and the 13 will be a grounder to first base, and runner will advance. So it's a G3. So it's a single and a G3. Pinch hitter is Vernon, and then we got a G3. Bounce out to Boucher, who steps on the bag ahead of Vernon. So there's 1 out here in the top of the 9th. As you can see on the screen, it's 5-0 Phillies. Terrible team, by the way. They're 10-26. Here's Bill Bruton, excuse me. Pitch, and that's a 14, which will be Running around second now. That's a fly out, left field. Coming over, Anderson, and squeezes it. 2 out. So the Braves are down to the last out here in the top of the 9th inning. Conley's been just magnificent. And the dice have just not been working for the Braves at all. So they should break out in the second game. This is the first game of a doubleheader. And here's Eddie Matthews, who's 0 for 2. Matthews is batting .295. Here's a pitch, and that's a 44. Hey, about time. He gets a hold of one and drives it, and that's going to be in the gap. It's going to split the outfielders and roll to the wall and take a bounce away from Ashburn, and a run scores. And digging for third is Matthews. Here's the throw, and he is in there with an RBI triple. Drives in number 8, so he picks up an RBI, and it's 5-1 now. 5-1, and here comes Hank Aaron. All right, so Conley's still in there. He's given up a run. He's gone. Let me see. He can go 36. He's one of those guys that can last. He's got lots of endurance. Here's a pitch, and that's a 26. And against a lefty, it's a hit, but against a righty, it's lined and caught by the shortstop, and that's the ball game. L6, 1 run on 2 hits in the 9th. He loses his no-hitter in the top of the 9th inning, and we're going to do that L6. And what a great game that was. That was a lot of fun. I had a blast. So Conley gets the win. 2-2. All right. The loss is going to go to Jay. Jay is going to be 2-2. And it's going to be 5-7-0 for the Phillies and 1-2-0 for the Braves. And we're going to play the second game of the doubleheader. I need the Braves to come back, and I need them to start hitting the ball, because otherwise it's painful to lose to the Phillies. Yikes. So the Braves are now 21-14. That's 7 games over 500, excuse me. And the Phils are what, 11-26. Yikes. So 21-14. And thanks for watching. This is Tony Porter, Cards and Dice TV. And try out Fall Classic Baseball. You can actually try it for free at the website, and I highly recommend it. It's a lot of fun. I play a lot of games. If you watch my channel, I play APBA and I play Strat and a bunch of other games. Inside Pitch is a good game. There's a lot of good games. This is one of the top games, definitely one of the top games. I don't know if there's any perfect game in the world, but this offers everything. It plays very fast, and it doesn't have a lot of symbols, that you have to look up. It doesn't have any lookups. Everything's off the cards, so it's a very good game. And you can, I actually have a video that's called hacks for learning a new game. Tricks that you can do to practice, play, and learn a new game without it being such a daunting task. And I'll share that at Universal Baseball Association Facebook group. If you're not part of that group, please join. Probably the most laid-back group in our hobby. It's the premier group in our hobby. It's got amazing content. People there. You got Kurt Berglund, and you got RJL, and you got a bunch of other guys that come over and add content, and we have great discussions. So come over to Universal Facebook Association. I promise you won't regret it. This is the Facebook group for everybody who hates Facebook groups. So if you really got frustrated with groups and you're like, oh, I hate this, well, this will change. This group will change your mind, I promise. And that's about it. So I will see you guys soon. Take care. Thanks for tuning in, and like and subscribe will be appreciated. I get a lot of views, but try to hit the like button as well. It's inspirational. And I'll see you soon.